Good morning, everybody. Welcome to chapter 12 of the VW Bug Chronicles. So today's episode, obviously we learned in episode 11 that our fuel pump is putting out about 4 psi, which is about 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds more than it should, which I believe is the reason why the car is stalling once she warms up. So what I have done is, here's that fuel regulator that I purchased, attached it to our gauge. We're going to hook this up to the carburetor, start old Myrna here, and see how accurate this is. We'll have it set, I'm going to set it at 2, just to sort of see what happens. We're going to sort of attach this contraption, and hopefully we'll show 2 pounds. We'll let Myrna warm up, and my hope is once we get to warm, she doesn't stall. Time will tell. Anyway, I'm gonna hook this up right now. I will see you in a moment. Okay, gang, so what I've done is I took my new fuel line, attached it here. I don't know if you can see that, new, followed it around. Now I didn't trim any of the line. I don't wanna make any cuts until I know exactly what we've got going on. But here is the regulator. You can see it's set at 2. Fuel filter on up to our pressure gauge and then into the carburetor. So I want to leave the pressure gauge on. Obviously, I want to make sure that this fuel regulator is working. It should just go to 2 pounds for the moment, and then maybe we'll take it to 2.5. We'll see what happens. My hunch is it's going to take a minute or two to fill this fuel line, of course, and that filter. I won't bore you with 2 minutes of cranking, but stay tuned. She should be running here in a moment. On a side note, I thought I'd show you this sticker. I thought that was pretty cool. I couldn't help but put it on the Volkswagen. Awesome, right? Troubling. As you can see, I have the pressure regulator set at half. There's 1, there's a half, but my gauge is saying 3. Now you'll recall that it was saying 4 from last week's episode. So one of 2 things: that gauge is not accurate, which is a real possibility, or this regulator is not accurate, which is also a possibility. I'm going to keep letting her warm up here. As you can see, we're still in good graces there. I don't see any fuel leaking out yet. I'm just going to keep letting her run. We'll see what happens. So I don't think I've solved the problem. Watch this, kids. Wants to stall. Right. So I'm believing now that this fuel regulator may not be any good. You see the moisture on my fingers? That's not coming from the inlet or the outlet. That's coming from this actual gauge itself. So I'm beginning to think that that may be my problem. That this gauge doesn't work, or regulator doesn't work, which would explain why my fuel pump pressure gauge is still saying 4 psi, because this is doing nothing. Nothing! So, back to square one. Maybe it's a fuel and a choke problem. I don't know. Just don't know. It's very vexing. I'm very vexed right now. Well, it's certainly troubling, isn't it? 12 episodes, and what have we really accomplished in 12 episodes? We did get Myrna running, yay. Electronic ignition seems to be working fine, yay. She does start and runs quite strong. It's just when she warms up, she dies, and I gotta be honest, I'm starting to get at a loss. I mean, to be fair, I've been half-assing this for the last 6 months. I may have to put some real effort into this. I don't know. And I don't want to pull this engine out. I mean, if I pull this engine out, I'm just going to put a whole new engine in. A turnkey engine, I don't know, it's like $3750. Call it $4,000. I'm sure for under $4,500, I can get this engine yanked and a brand new one installed and not have to deal with any of this. But I don't want to do that. This engine does leak like a sieve. It leaks like a sieve, which is another reason I should just put a new engine in. But I want to get this running. I don't want to have that defeatist attitude. This is something so simple, and I'm just not understanding. Hell, maybe it's a problem with the carburetor. This carburetor is so aftermarket. It's so aftermarket, it doesn't even have a name on it. I mean, this is a splash of a splash of a splash, right? There's no name on this carburetor anywhere. Maybe I need to spend $150 and put a whole new carburetor on. I mean, what's $150? I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to some of my buddies that know way more about fuel systems than I do, which isn't saying a lot, but they know way more than I do. I think I may officially need help. All right. Anyway, this concludes episode 12. Stay tuned for episode 13. We'll tackle this again in this world when you could be anything you want. You be kind, be humble, be forgiving, be melting snow, and remember, it's later than you think. Try to have a little fun. Thanks for watching. Take care.